आज आमे मेनली कौन डिस्कशन करिया हमें डिस्कशन करथिले आईएलओ इंटरनेशनल लेबर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में इंडिया सहित कौन रिलेशन सेटा पॉइंट में जानिबा तापरे रिमेनिंग क्लास में ट्रेड यूनियन रो इंपोर्टेंस कौन why people join in trade union what are the benefits people get from trade union से विषय डिस्कशन करिया तापरे मुझे कहतली आज क्लास लास्ट क्लास तापरे तमरो जहा डाउट थिबो you let me know, then based on that we'll plan the additional class revision class. Another one class will revise whatever important. The first thing is how India related to trade union. India is there from the beginning. Read it. India is the founder member of the International Labour Organization. That means India was there since ILO was founded from 1919. And it has been a permanent member of the ILO governing body since 1922. So that means India is there in ILO from the beginning, very beginning. 1990 it was founded and India was a founder member of the ILO. When it was founded, since that time it was there. At present, the ILO has 187 members. Those things we read about earlier. 187 members. Members means country. A unique feature of the ILO is its tripartite character. Tripartite, I explained, when three parties are involved, three parties means government, employers, employees. Three parties are involved and agree to a common discussion, common agreement, common law. So that system is known as tripartite. Just like bipartisan, the tripartite. The membership of ILO ensures the growth of the tripartite system in the member country. At every level in the organization, government are associated with the two other social partners, namely workers and employers. All the three groups are presented on almost all the deliverable organ of the ILO. So what are the main organ of the ILO that we'll read in the coming slides. We discussed how ILO is functioning, what are the different component of ILO. Those things we'll discuss further. A unique feature of ILO. This paragraph is mainly telling about the tripartite character. All the three groups are represented on almost all the deliberative organs of the ILO and share responsibility in conducting its work. So everyone who is part of that is sharing their each responsibility and conducting their work from their part. This number is important. Total 187 members as of now. And India is the founder member. It is there in ILO governing body since 1922 and ILO was founded in 1990. Then we'll read about some recommendation, some laws, what India referred, what India agreed in ILO. India has ratified means agreed or signed. Ratified 6 out of 8 core. These 6, there are total 8 core fundamental convention. Convention means rules or laws or recommendation. Out of 8 fundamental convention, India has ratified 6. These are the 6. Forced labor, abolition of forced labor, equal remuneration, discrimination, minimum wage, worst form of child labor. ये जो number अच्छे गुड़ा, these are the section of the act. So India has agreed or proposed or signed on these 6 conventions: forced labor, equal remuneration, abolition of forced labor, discrimination of employment, minimum wage. So there should be any bar or any minimum wage criteria for the employment. So it was not there earlier. Worst form of child labor. ପିଲାମାନଙ୍କୁ ନେଇ କାମ କରିବା ସେଥିଲାଗି ଯେଉଁ ରୁଲ ହେଇଛି ଚାଇଲ୍ଡ ଲେବର ପାଇଁ ଯେଉଁ ରେକମେଣ୍ଡେସନ ହେଇଛି that came from ILO and India has ratified. So this 6 India has ratified. You don't need to understand the detail, but at least the convention you can remember. These are the conventions. Then what are the other 8 core conventions? Those are we'll read in the next slide. Other 8 core conventions. 8 core conventions of ILO are same, forced labor. 6 are same, which India has ratified. Abolition of forced labor, equal remuneration convention, minimum wage from a child, freedom of association and protection rights to organized convention, right to organized and collective bargaining convention. The last 2 are different from the earlier. These 2 has not certified, not ratified by India. So total 8 conventions are listed in this slide, which will ratified by India government. India has agreed on this and signed on that convention. These are the rule or recommendation given by ILO. The 8 conventions taken together are more relevant today in the face of global economy. If you talk about the world economy, the child labor, how it is impacting, and the forced labor and the discrimination. So these are impacting the global economy and other challenges impacting on the welfare and the livelihood workers at the in all areas. Suppose you think about a particular country, particular region. So they have a practice to employ children. So when this ILO came into picture, so when the rule has come and most of the country has agreed and accepted the rule, so there is a universal standard, universal rule passed by ILO that no children can work. They have the rights to get education, food, but they cannot work for money. They should have other mechanism that their economic standard, how it will grow. So they are working because of poverty. So government is thinking how to eradicate that poverty, and there is a common rule, common regulation for child labor. So that kind of convention brought by ILO and India has accepted it. The 8 conventions taken together are more relevant today in the face of global economy and other challenges being on the welfare and livelihood of workers in all regions. So these are the conventions. You can remember few. These are easy to remember. You can understand and remember few. The general, you can understand the general meaning of each convention. Suppose child labor, abolition of forced labor, and discrimination. You can understand each of this meaning and remember this. Once you write, then it will be a good impression for your writing. So these are the main four conventions given by ILO. You understood this. Another thing I was telling, what are the different component of ILO? Or we discussed earlier in some other contest. The first three, you see there are 7 points given here, and all these points are how India related to ILO. The first three are the core department of ILO, how it works. The first one is conference, International Labour Conference. The second one is governing body. The third one is the International Labour Office. These three we read when we studied the component composition or the structure of ILO. Along with that, we have International Labour Standard and Convention, ILO Convention ratified by India. In the before two slide, we discussed about that. India's contribution to the budget, Indian delegate. So if write some points, how India related to ILO. In India, delegate, suppose India has every conference, India has its delegation, its domination to the conference. So that list you don't need to remember who has participated in the meeting, but India is contributing to budget, India is contributing to conference, to meetings. India is contributing to different convention passed by ILO, International Labour Standard, ILO Convention, and these three things are main composition, International Labour Conference, except for the interruption caused by the Second World War. The International Labour Conference has continued since its first session was 1990. 1990 it was started. Made at least 1 year. The conference assisted by the governing body adopted this program, biennial program, and budget, adopt international labor standard in the form of convention and recommendation, and provide a forum for discussing social, economic, and labor related issues. So this conference happens once in a year during the month of June, I think. We read about in the previous slide. So in this conference, So the discussion point is different social factors, economic factor. All these issues discussed, and those things will slowly converted into convention, recommendation, rules. So when the all other country, maximum country, there will be some votings or some kind of selection process, but all the recommendation will be ratified and sanctioned by the different country and agreed, and it was passed for law. So these are the points one can remember how India is related to ILO. There are some other points also. These are trade union related discussion. So I was telling you, we'll understand how trade union is important, why people join in trade union. Those things we'll discuss. We'll take a few small break. Then we'll discuss trade union part, why people join in trade union, why these are important. So couple of slides will finish. So as I was telling you, you have to write a lot in trade union. That is the source of this paper, international relationship. Then you have National Commission of Labor, NCL. We studied about that, which is established by Government of India at the nation level. Then you have ILO, international level. That is another concept. Till now we are discussing regarding ILO. After the break, we'll discuss about trade union. Why people join in trade union? What are the importance of trade union? We'll take a 5-minute break. After the break, in the same link, we'll join and discuss about trade union. Thank you. See you.